good week. I'm approximately 10 years older than I was this time last week. And I'm going to scrapbook why today, so that's fun. But yes, I hope you've had a really good week. It feels like both 5 minutes and 10 years ago since Monday's live stream, but that's all good. So originally, well, as of Monday, you thought I wouldn't be here because I'd be at the theater with a small person. He broke his arm. And he can't play Christopher Robin because he can't get his arms around the honey pot. So I'm here. No Christopher Robin this weekend. And I'm really sorry to anybody in Milton Keynes who was booking tickets to see him. We're not there. But on the other hand, he has made some other boy's day by giving him his spot, and he'll get to do either the understudy will get to go on, or they'll have a whole new boy into as well. I don't know, but he'll have made somebody's day, but he's stressed out his mama. That's all I'm saying. Let's scrapbook so I can get over of all of that adventure. Right. Hello. How are you? And how are we doing? So, a little update on the 2 pages I've made so far. So, this was the one that I started on the first video, and I kind of got this bit done, but none of this. And I went ahead and went through the rest of the embellishments in the kit and was able to add a fair amount here, but this is the corner where I ran out. I had nothing to match this kind of, what do we want to call that? Periwinkle? Cornflower? I think more periwinkle. It's almost going to lavender. I had nothing from the sticker sheets or the sticker book or the enamel dots to do that. And I was really shy of this zone in here because there's lots of a more aqua tone, but these didn't feel like a match to these. So that's where I am right now. I think I will pull in some things from my stash to kind of finish this bit off, and maybe I keep looking. I've ended up with a kind of open, awkward space here where I think this needs a little bit more. But as I was going through, I wasn't quite sure how much to put on, so I had left a bit of room, and now I think, no, this needs like a nice sizable piece there. But I still like this idea that the stuff around the photo is multiple colors, and then within each ray, as we get away from the photo, it stays true to its own color. And so that's the idea there. And once I've finished putting all those bits on, plus the writing, then that's going to get gold mist. Lots of gold mist. Right? And then this is where we were on Monday. And I started to put the title on and then couldn't remember. We came up with, somebody in the comments came up with a great title, and I made no note of it. So it's in the live chat, and I need to go back and find out what that title was, and it's going to go in there. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. Then one last little update. A couple people have pointed out that when I went through the kit, I did not pull out the specific papers from the collection packs that are in the kit. And there are 4 of them, and I've pulled them out now. I got organized. I pulled them out. So from Retro Summer, it's these 2. This one, which is adorable for the fact that it has creamsicles, and I love creamsicles so much. We don't have them in this country, but we have Solero. Similar kind of concept, but more tropical. So the outside is like a mango passion fruit kind of mix rather than orange. So yeah, I do love a creamsicle. Brits, it's vanilla ice cream, vanilla ice cream, orange ice lolly. Yeah. So it's like a Solero, but orange, like orange juice. Anyway, the real reason this is in there is because I thought this one could be really useful. So any of these squares that feel sensible to your adventures, great. But otherwise, you've got this, which is very versatile. Ah, thank you. Fueling the Dream. That's the title to go on that one. Thank you so much. I just knew it would be in the chat, and I'd go back. So thank you that all of you have better memories than me. And then this one from Retro Summer with another kind of take on a starburst or sunburst, sun ray kind of design. This one is very colorful and lovely, but also makes my eyes go a little crossed. But I will say, if you have this one and you're not loving that side, this is much less eye crossy. That's totally a term. If you cut it down into individual strips, and then you would just have like borders for days, which is not a bad thing. There we go. Oh, yes. Joanna says, like a strawberry movie. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I think so. Yes, I had those when I was there. And yes. Yeah, Jean says like a splice. Yeah, might be a splice as well. I don't remember splice, but I remember movie because the name is funny. Okay, and then these two from Boho Sunshine, the tags, so that we can cut apart. Remember, these all have room for journaling, and the lines are there, but really subtle. Well, some of them are blank. So this is lines, grid, blank, lines, grid, blank. Yeah, and so on. Okay, and this one, text on this side, but this lovely kind of burnt orange and ballet slipper pink dot. Okay, so those were the 4 from the collection packs. I have now pulled them out, so I have the right ones. And then today, we are going to work on just one single 4x6. So WB gets this pen and snap. That's kind of what he did. Gets this fabulous news. So there's Winnie the Pooh, and then there's the bigger news after that, which this has not affected. Phew. And then promptly falls off the monkey bars at school. And he has chipped a bone in his elbow. So I have a whole story about this. There's so much journaling that I think eventually I will have to add in like a 6x12 or something. But I'm going to start by just keeping it to one photo to have lots of room for journaling on the page. Because this is not my first experience with broken bones. He broke his thumb when he was like 4 or 5. But this is my first experience being a stage mother in A&E. And at first I just kept it really quiet. I said nothing about it. And then when they came out and they were like, so it's broken and we have to put it into a cast. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my, okay, so now I have to tell you what I need to know and all of this. And it was a lot. So, right. But I will say, fabulous hospital staff. I had to go back and then get a letter because I didn't think about the fact that when you license children to work, part of the licensing obviously is, well, a lot of the licensing is keeping children safe. I can't just send him to work like this. I had to have a doctor sign off on very specific things, and I didn't think about getting that in writing. She told it all to me. I didn't think about that. Yeah. So I had to go back in, find the same consultant. Thankfully, she was still there, and she was really lovely, and it was fine. And then Tuesday is going to have this taken off, and we find out what happens after that. But his other project is still fine. He can still go into rehearsal, and by the time it would matter, he'll be out of that cast. So it's fine. But whoa, what a ride. All right. So here is all our paper. I should do my speech and then figure out how to scrapbook this boy with his broken arm. Right. Let's do that then. Hello. My name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime you scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure you're aware of that. You're aware of that? Thank you so much for watching my hashtag advertising. I appreciate you being here, whether you're live, whether you're chatty, whether you watch from Tomorrowland, whether you're quiet, whether you scrapbook, whether you don't. I'd love for you to scrapbook. Whether you used to scrapbook and you just watch me because you still have paper in your cupboard and you're thinking, maybe I'll get back to it. Come on, let this summer be the summer. Or if you're down under, let this winter be the winter. Anyway, cool? I'm glad that you're here. You can find links in the description box to all the relevant stuff. You want to know what I print my photos on? That's linked down there. You want to know what supplies I'm using this month? That's linked as the June Best of Both Worlds kit. You want to know what I'm going to use next month so you can collect the same sort of stuff and then scrapbook with me? That's called the July kit, and it's linked down there too. Or if you want to take a class, you can sign up for those. There's a link right now to this year's story. If you're in this year's story, have you watched the Get Your Photos in Order video from earlier this week? If you haven't, go ahead and do that, because later today you get the next video, which includes all of the photos you saw me pick out coming into the album, and how I set them up and get started on making stuff with them. So it's a big day. So if you haven't watched that last video, go ahead and watch that so that you can join in the next one that comes later today. I think that's everything. Thank you so much. Let's scrapbook. All right. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so one photo, lots of journaling space. And of course, he's wearing black and red, which is not the color scheme of this kit in any way. But we're gonna make it work anyway. Okay, so I like this a lot. So basically, he took the break a leg advice and instead broke an arm. That's not how it's supposed to work. Also, it's not really supposed to happen. Children being literal. I mean, we could go really wild. Let's have these options. Okay, actually, right, I was going to let you vote, and then I just had an idea spring into mind, and we're going to run with that idea. Come here. Journaling, heavy, design. We're going to do it like this. His photo is going to go here. And then there are going to be tags aplenty, tags aplenty. So many tags. Right, so I want them the right way up because I want them, I want to be able to write on them. So these are tags. Then I can write on as many of them as I need to. But some of them can be sentiments, some of them can be writing, text. Okay, maybe there's one more that comes down kind of like this or something. Yeah, so lots of tags on the top, either half or 2/3 of the page. Title comes underneath here. And then we add in some embellishment, top and bottom, maybe a little bit here. If you're new around here, sunshines or stars just mean embellishments. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. There's a thing that you're talking about in the live chat. My contract says I can't talk about it, so that's why I'm not answering your questions. Okay, thanks. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I also don't want to get in trouble. Cool. Okay. So you don't have a contract that says you can't talk about it, so you can talk about all that you want, but I can't. There we go. That's what that is. All right. So yeah, it's been kind of lots of different things, big things happening. Funny. Promise you when I'm allowed to talk about it, I'll be talking about it. I'll be like, enough already. Shut up, crazy lady. Okay. That one and these. I'm just going to cut them all. Rest assured, until that magic date on my contract hits the calendar, every time I laugh without explanation, it's probably that in the chat. Middle of July? Early July, supposedly. But I don't have it yet. It is not in my hands. Sometimes you guys can get it before I can. Sophia is dressing the elephant in the room in a party hat. The elephant is a good elephant. I'm so glad you think it's a good elephant. This is hilarious. All right, so we got all of the tags out. Could I have thought about this before and done it not on the live? Yes. Did I have the idea before? No. So sorry. Now I'm cutting all the tags. I know, Sarah, I can explain exactly why, and yet it's not worth explaining. It's very boring from an industry point of view. So it just is what it is the best explanation I can give at this point. Da, da, da. He's not fake, no. You're good. That would be really weird for it to be fake. Can we, that would be weird, right? But I suppose not even all that difficult. I suppose somebody could go to an AI place and be like, it all looks like this, so what would it look like now? I don't know. Weird. Moving on. Right, let's mat that photo with some paper from the 6x8 Boho Sunshine. Where have I put the photo at this point? Dun, 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 over here. Yeah. Okay. There's two of these, right? So I can use that one. Yeah, I've got two of these because I want this yellow. Yeah. Oh no. Kirsty says, does anybody know the right and wrong of feeding an urban fox? I know that if you do, you now have foxes. So the cubs won't stay on your turf for very long. They're not allowed to overlap territory, and they're not allowed. You know what I mean? The animal instinctual version of you're not allowed. So yeah, the parents will kick them off the turf and make them go do their own thing in their own place as soon as they're kind of independent. But the mother will remember that you fed the cub and come back. So we lived in a house that for a little while that had a cat flap, but nobody had been living there. So the foxes had been using the cat flap. And urban foxes are very, very bold. They do not care about humans at all. And one day, the cat flap was in this house. Even in London, it had a laundry room. What? This is not a British thing. Definitely not a city British thing. But anyway, it had this little back door with the they'd put a wall into the living room basically so they could have a laundry room. And so I'm doing the laundry, and in comes this fox, and it literally comes in the cat flap, looks at me, and then carries on into the house. I'm like, wait, you do not live here. What the heck is going on? And it just kept looking at me like, how dare you be in the house? So I just want you to know that they will be like, we rule the place. So you can feed them if you are willing to do that. But I do think, unless they're looking unhealthy, they probably have plenty of food source of their own. I don't know. We do have neighbors that feed them, and we do have foxes that leave evidence of their foxiness all over the place all the time. So, yeah. And also, don't encourage them if you have chickens anywhere near you. Don't do that. But they are lovely, cute things. I like to watch them through the window, but I don't want them in my house with the laundry. I ended up having to just tape up the cat flap because we were just living there for a little while. It was in the 2012 era when we couldn't live in our normal flat because everyone was convinced that rents would be this Olympic fundraising event, and so we had to move out. But it wasn't that. Oh yeah, the noise is horrific. Foxes are loud at night. They're loud and messy. All right, so we've got a single color around the photo and then a bigger one here. Kirsty's like, well, I got pictures to scrapbook. This is the important thing. They're lovely to watch. I really do like watching them. The funny thing about urban foxes is that not only do they get so bold, they don't even pretend to be nocturnal. So we have foxes that when they fancy it, they're just out in our garden in the middle of the day, just having a great old time. And you're like, dudes, you're supposed to be asleep. What are you doing? And I just totally messed that up. Yeah, so they're kind of funny like that. I messed it up, so now I'm going to mess it up more with the trimmer. What am I like? Okay. Let me botch this corner. Yeah, foxes and chickens, not a good combination. Sophia's eldest nephew tried to keep chickens in tooting. Yeah, even there. The foxes are like, thank you for bringing me chicken. No, that's not what we did. Okay. I've now made that taller because I cut the side down and I didn't cut the other side. It's uneven now. So let's cut the side that I botched. Urban foxes are huge compared to their country cousins. See, I can't quite remember because I haven't seen a country fox since I was a kid. And so the country fox feels huge in my mind, but also I was like 8. So everything that you remember from when you're 8 feels bigger than it really is. Yes, you can totally adapt this sketch for any size photo you've got. And you could just have more photos by having fewer tags. Definitely. Right. Which ones do I imagine I'm going to make a yes and no pile based on the A-side designs that I really want to include at some point in the month versus the ones that don't shout out to me. It doesn't mean I don't like them. It just means they're not the ones that go, yes, I love this. So there we go. So that's my, no, I can use the other side. That I'll probably use. Okay, so then start with these as my tag sides and like the writing sides and see what I've got. So I pulled out. Oh my goodness, it's all the ones that are just no lines. 3 grid, 4 blank. That's funny. Okay, and then maybe we keep that one as an A side. Yeah, I like that B-side there. Okay. Okay, so these are definites, and then these are all my maybes. Cool. That one. That one and this one. And I need my hole punch today. London urban foxes will get on trains and go down the escalators in tube stations. Now, admittedly, that's the extreme, but I have seen both. They just walk on like they own the place, no problem. They're like, why are you in my spot? This is my train. Okay, so this, ooh, have I got any semblance of lining things up today? Apparently not. That's gonna go here. And I think, ink these as I go. I think I kind of want the one that's gonna be an A side to be kind of like here. So like that. And then that one here. Okay. What I don't know is how many it's going to take to fill the space. So that's what I'm working out. This one that side, so I'm kind of separating the wood grain. Kirsty's decision is they're cute, but I'm not going to put out the red carpet. That sounds very sensible. I do wonder if the fox population keeps the rat population in some sort of balance here, Sophia, because, yeah, we have a lot of both. Maybe not sunglasses. Maybe these 3. Elaine was at the Pink concert last night, and there were a gazillion pigeons. I know the stadium that's near us, football stadium, like a littler one, clearly has some sort of problem with the pigeons wanting to live there, because they have dozens of those like fake flying birds on a wire to try to scare the pigeons away. And they kind of look, because they fly in the wind and they're like always, I don't know, they just look very festive. They look like, yay, our team is celebrating something. And really it's, we don't want pigeons and rats in our stadium. Great, that's something to celebrate. But it always makes me laugh. Look at all those birds. They're not real birds. Where, meanwhile, we have on our roof 1.5, 1 2/3 or something, fake owls, which were meant to keep out a certain kind of bird that was causing trouble in the garden. And within a week of putting the owls in, that exact bird was sitting on top of the fake plastic owl. So successful. And I say we have 1 2/3 because at some point in time, one of the owls has lost his head, but no one has removed the rest of the owl nor replaced the head. So 1 2/3 owls. But they don't move, so I don't know why they're supposed to scare anything away. I don't know. I didn't put them there. Okay, so we're going to end up with things like this. What have I got in terms of some A-sides I could just show a little bit of? Like the rainbow one can work here. And that one. Okay, and then these two are maybes. Let's have these that are like a pattern. You could also just cut tags to match whatever you've already got from scraps of pattern paper, which would probably be my next step if this is not enough tags. We need a Pied Piper, yes. Okay, I think I'm ready to start working these out, and then I will cut where it's going to go behind the photo so that I can use that elsewhere. So let's start up here in this top corner. This one is going to go just over that edge there. This one's going to go down here, but that bit we can use later. Okay. So you could overlap them or put them next to each other. I'm going to overlap them, and in fact, I'm going to overlap this so that I don't get the background pattern in the corner. Okay, so I'm like that. All right. And then this one can come in here. What are these? Are they both plain? Yeah. Because this one's going to end up just the grid. But I think I kind of need that, so I'll keep the top for elsewhere. Okay. This yellow one. It's going to take a lot of text. It's all right. This one here. That one's going to go there. So what's going to go behind there? Boop, 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 boop. Not sure yet. And that's going to get popped. Let's pop that one up. Pop, pop, pop it up with Papillons. This is going to go there. Which means this one. Go about here. Made that edge worse. There. No, I don't want the dot to be on the line. There we go. That's fine. So that one there. Let's do maybe this one here. This one's coming over here. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. We're getting there. Okay. This one, so that those two patterns are there. This one comes up here. And this is a bit of that. Okay. Let's do this here. Go all the way there. This one's going to go below that one. This one, then about there. I think I need maybe make this tag shorter. Maybe I leave it off entirely. Or I like that better. Put some sort of embellishment here. Okay. There. Right, sorry. That was a lot of me trying to work something out, and I didn't talk much. Rarity. But yeah, I think this is going to work now. Oh, bottom edge. That's a good point. Need something down here. Okay. I've got this one to take the top off as well, so maybe I bring that down the bottom edge. Okay, let's trim these edges. Make sure everything is stuck before you start cutting, otherwise it might all move and then you've cut through in the wrong angle, and I don't want to tell you how I know that that happens. But it can. Okay, so I've got some tabs here that I can bring down to this edge. Yeah. Lovely. Let's punch a hole in this one. Yay, Kirsty! She has finished making a gerbil page. Success. Oh, turned out the hole doesn't matter. But I punched it anyway. Okay, so I've got lots of writing room. I need to re-ink the edges that I cut because that stark white edge is really kind of weirding me out a little bit. It's too bold, too white. Okay, that's better. Right, title. Let's look at these lettering options. So I think that red is too crisp and red, but we can definitely use this one. And then I had an alpha that I pulled out for the last layout. I'm just going to use the same one if I've got the right letters. Because I'm kind of liking this whole concept of when you pull something from your stash and add it to the kit, just keep it with the kit, and then you can keep going. Yeah, that's all good. Okay. Oh, I've got a question mark in this font. Maybe I use that one. Oh, a delightful grid. Try to match up the lines and keeping them straight. I might do a baked good layout again next week, because I baked some pretty fancy cupcakes yesterday. They're on my Instagram stories. Yeah, might scrapbook those unless I have a different story that strikes my fancy by Monday. But I might do that. And then oh, I'm glad it worked by restarting everything, Sophia. I'm not in slow-mo and you can see people in the chat. These are all good things. So just changing the lettering style for the word that's changed in the phrase. I am going to have to deal with this space, but I'll do it in a second. I'll do it in a second. And yeah, changing the font for the word that is different in the phrase so that the sentiment reads the way I want it to. So I want the emphasis to be like, this phrase should be break a leg, not break an arm. Yeah? So I'm going to keep this punctuation at the end so that this one word stands out as out of place. Yeah? But I do need something here. We'll sort that out. Okay. Could have put that title down here, actually. Oh, could I do it? Could I do it? Silly me. I'm going to like it better down here, though, but it's here on the sketch. But then I'm not quite so trapped in on that bottom line. So I like this better. No. The grid definitely makes it more difficult to work with these. There's a bit more flexibility in the tilt of a letter when there's not a grid behind it. But also it's not an identical grid. Each letter is not on the line. So I can't just place a ruler and then line up all the lines. It doesn't quite work that simply. So anyway, I like how they look. I just have to go slower. That's all. See, because I want to put that E this way. Can you tell? But then the E looks right to me, but the grid line is crooked. So I have to straighten it back up. Because this E isn't actually meant to go straight like that. It's designed to go more like that. There we go. I just thought suddenly, you probably can't see what I mean, so I should zoom up so that you can see these fiddly little grid lines. Okay, but I have managed, I believe, to move the whole thing without tearing any of them. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I like the title at the bottom better. Right, how will I journal? I think I'll start, well, I could do it in blocks, like I could put one thing that you read here, and then almost like it's a bullet point, so each one is different, so it doesn't matter what order you read it in. So I think I need to plan out what I'm going to write on this one because I have a lot of thoughts, and I know I might need this space as well. But if you wanted to make that all one story, then I would be tempted to start at the top and go across like we normally do. That would make it end here. But if your story could be different parts, then this works as one, this works as one, and then maybe these are different little bits. Yeah. Also, There's no rule that says you can't number them. So if it starts making it hard for you to read, add numbers. It's fine. We use numbers to clarify our writing in real life. There's no reason why we can't use numbers to clarify our writing on a scrapbook page. So I'm just going to leave that there for you. I want a bit of yellow down here, so this is what I'm going to do here. I think that's just going to make everything a little more finished. It's just that same yellow from the photo mat. Okay, embellishments. So I have these, and I have in here somewhere a pack of die cuts. Here. So this is all almost entirely boho sunshine, boho sunshine. That's sassafras. Everything else is boho sunshine from Simple Stories. All right, so things I have in here. Some little pennants. These are all single-sided, yeah. Die cut pack is actually not what I need. That's all right. We got other options. Let's put this back in here so I don't lose them. This, if you have this piece and you want to do that sort of composition, that would work down here as well. Okay. Sophia was like, laptop? You love what laptop? Layout. Got it. Thank you. And obviously you could swap more tags for photos or more tags over to the pattern side, or take some of these patterns and turn them back the other way so you can write on them. You can make it fit the size of your story. So, right. I think Don't Worry, Be Happy is pretty apt to this scenario and photo. I actually like it right there. Underneath that. I'm going to take something like this bunting and put it up in this corner, or is it too much? I'm just going to leave it there for a minute because I'm not 100%. Use this one. Yeah, I wouldn't use a best day ever kind of sticker with this. Those are for other things. Don't let them frustrate you. Just don't use them for something like this. Use other things. It's all good. Save those for days when it all goes right. Except that it's a superlative, but you can use it more than once. You kind of have to accept, with best day ever sentiments, you need to accept the childhood definition of best day ever, in which you can just have a really good day and call it best day ever. Then if you can embrace that definition of best day ever rather than the technical superlative. There is one best day of all the days, and you have to pick one and identify it and put that sticker on it. Don't do that. Chill. But yeah, you could use the nope stamps, definitely. Do you want me to use the nope stamps? Let's see. Have I got a set that are handy? I didn't think to prepare one. Where are you? Yep, I do have a set right here. So I could, I mean, this is definitely a for real kind of, and there's a worst day ever if you want it. This was my caption when I put it on Instagram. This was not the plan, so that one definitely is coming in. Not the plan. I think this is a no. It's because it's not vibing. I think it could be, but I just feel like it's a little too much for what I've got going on here. Okay. So we have not the plan. We can have we can have this hashtag real life. Yes. And I like this as a triangle because look, it's also near that triangle. Maybe I should have moved that to that edge, but oh well, I didn't. So oh, hi, I'm Elaine. See ya. Okay, so those three stamped, and then I'm going to come put embellishment next to them. Yay, I'm glad that those stamps still come in handy years later. And you still appreciate them enough to remind me that I have them. Right, so some embellishment next to each one. So I could do something along the lines of floral piece here. That works. There, and one more down here, which is going to need to be kind of that. Let's do this one because it matches in color. It's a slightly different style of sticker because this is one on a stem rather than just the blue, but that's okay. That'll work. There. Just go around the edge. Okay, then dots. did the yellow? Yeah. And one over here. Okay, so a little trio there. I need to bring something floral down here maybe. This fits sentiment-wise, but it's too big. We got a tiny, got these two flowers here. This black and white one feels a little too different. I wonder about going back to the 6x8 paper pad and seeing if there's something I could cut out. Or from any of, oh, look, like I've got that little flower there. Let's cut that one out. What's the other side of this one? Oh, cactus. No. This one has little, okay, between the two of these, I think we got something. So, quickly cut out a little flower. And I will find something to put through the center of this one. I might leave the others though, because I think, I don't know, I might, well, right now I'm thinking I just tie this one to give it a little bit more prominence. Once I do that and put the writing on, if it looks too flat, then I could add something to each of them. There's a Christmas layout I did, not just this Christmas gone, but the Christmas before, where I did like a whole bunch of tags and tied them all. But a little different feel to the layout. So that would give you a comparison if you want to kind of see the difference, I think. So we could bring this over here and then maybe just the two tiny stickers, maybe this blue one. And this little yellow one. Sorry, I've lost the bottom of the layout there. Whoops. Okay. That little grouping like that. Okay. Plus journaling, plus gold mist, plus twine. Or yarn or whatever I'm going to use. I might tie one of these as well. Yeah, I think that's it. Yes? Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, and I hadn't put the lives on for the rest of the month because if you were here last time, I told you that there's a little, more than a little, change to our schedule and I didn't know when that would be. Now I have a draft schedule and it actually does not conflict with the current live stream schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and plan those lives out. Obviously with a draft schedule, things are subject to change. So if anything does change, I will let you know as soon as possible. And the places where I do that are the community tab here on YouTube and also in my stories on Instagram. So my account name there is just Shimelle, S-H-I-M-E-L-L-E. So yeah, if I need to cancel it, that's where you would find the announcement and change of anything like that. Okay. If you enjoyed today's layout and you want to give it a thumbs up, that'd be super duper awesome. And I appreciate it very much. So here's your super heart in return. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great weekend, and I believe I will see you at the normal time on Monday, 1:30 p.m. UK time, right here. And if you are signed up for this year's story, then be watching your inbox later today because you will get that next step update. when there's more videos to watch, and you can see February come into existence in that video. Right, I'll see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.